Massachusetts is home to 8 sanctuary cities, and Boston is the biggest.
But lately, as the White House just hammers sanctuary policies, Governor Healey has really made it a point to say that Massachusetts is not a sanctuary state. In tonight's Question Everything, how does the governor define a sanctuary state, and why do some disagree?
The governor said it in December.
Massachusetts, we are not a sanctuary state.
In January.
We're not a sanctuary state.
Last week.
We're not a sanctuary state.
And then again yesterday.
Massachusetts is not a sanctuary state.
If we are not a sanctuary state, what is? Well, we asked the governor what her definition is.
I'd leave that for others who call themselves that to define, but Massachusetts isn't, and as I say, we continue to work regularly, local, state, and federal law enforcement when it comes to public safety.
If you grab a dictionary, if you still have one, you won't find a specific definition of what makes something a sanctuary state. In fact, if you go through all the law books here at the State House, you won't find anything that declares we are or are not a sanctuary state. Instead, there are usually a couple of laws or policies that will earn you that distinction.
It's rare, but some governors openly declare sanctuary status, like California Governor Gavin Newsom did in 2018 in this tweet. Governor Healey had a tweet in 2017 declaring support for sanctuary cities. She was not governor at the time. So it's usually about policy. For instance, Oregon has called itself a sanctuary state since 1987. One of its many sanctuary policies is to limit cooperation with ICE detainers. What does that have to do with us? Well, Massachusetts also limits cooperation with ICE detainers. In 2017, our state's highest court ruled that court officers have no authority to arrest and hold an individual solely on the basis of a federal immigration detainer. Just last week, our Louisa Moeller interviewed the Worcester County Sheriff, who talked about having to let alleged criminals walk as soon as they make bail.
It's very frustrating for me to know I might have a drug trafficker or a violent offender getting bailed out of here. I call ICE and they're like, well, we're busy with a couple situations. We can't get there for a few hours. I can't hold them right now.
Republican State Senator Peter Durant has been a critic of Healey's immigration policies.
As of this year,
I asked Durant if he considers us to be a sanctuary state. His reply, quote, "If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it just may be a duck. And Massachusetts certainly looks and acts like a sanctuary state."
She is running away from this issue and in denial about it.
Jessica Vaughn is the policy director for the Center of Immigration Studies. That group lists 13 sanctuary states, which we highlighted here. Massachusetts is on that list, mainly for the ICE detainer policy. It's worth pointing out, while Vaughn says her group is nonpartisan, she has testified to Congress
to restore immigration enforcement
about her concerns about sanctuary policies.
She's using some very limited examples of cooperation to try to cover up what is institutionalized non-cooperation.
And we should point out, of course, as we debate whether we are a sanctuary state or not, there's the other debate, often a heated debate, over whether that would be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, it's interesting, too. There may be no definition, but by policy, a lot of states, a lot of people would consider this a sanctuary state.
And in the current environment, it feels like it's a phrase that politicians in some ways are trying to avoid.
Right, it's loaded.